Hi, this is Maya from the Worldwide Good News, and I have Bertrand Dory with me. He is living in Dublin right now, and he's going to talk with us a lot about personal transformation, his transformation, and how we can transform our own lives and transform the world. And how are you doing, Bertrand?
I'm doing great. It's really an honor to be meeting you today. I'm so happy to be here and sharing this with you.
Great, thank you. And I'm really, really happy to have you here as well. So tell us a little bit about, well, what do you do? I know you're a coach. Tell us a little bit more how you transform people's lives.
Yeah, so basically, I am the founder of Design Your Dream Life, and the role of Design Your Dream Life is to help people opening the possibility that they too can have the life that they want. Really a life full of fulfillment, of joy, and really living the life that everything just unfolds in front of you for your best. And I want to share this because this is how I'm living my life today. And it was not always the case for me, and we can talk about this later if you want to. But it's more because I really believe that everybody has a potential to have their own message, their own vision, their own wisdom, their own presence, and from this place create what they want in their life.
Oh, that's really great. So you said that you actually learned it on yourself, that your life wasn't always this way. Your mission is right now what it is, but it wasn't the way it was always. What was your background? How did you come to believe that you can actually transform people's lives?
Oh, my real background is in mathematics and computer science. And I know it's difficult for people to believe this, but I was a high technology innovation specialist. That's my real background. But what happened is that more or less at the start of last year in 2010, everything in my life crashed. Really everything. So I was in a beautiful relationship and the relationship completely collapsed. Within a couple of days, everything just went away. And my relationship with my dad completely collapsed also, and it destroyed me quite a lot. And I thought that it was really his fault, and I was full of anger and these kind of things. I lost my job. I lost my contract with my biggest client in the same period. And my daughter was so angry and so hurt, and because I am a single dad, I forget to say this, and her mom didn't come to see her very often, so I had all these things to do at the same time, and I was feeling, oh, life is so unfair. I can't be happy. I will never be happy again. I was feeling all this pain, all this hurt, and I didn't know what to do at the time. Really, I didn't know what to do. So it took me a few months just to be able to find my feet again, and then something just clicked that I can design the life I want. So I started to read The Secret. I started to read other books and get some wisdom, things that I had on my shelf that I was studying for 10 years that I didn't really understand. And that was the time I said, okay, now I'm going to take this back and I'm going to really learn this and really learn this inside me. And I started my journey slowly, step by step, until I am here today sharing with you.
That's really great. And it's really, a journey of every person, like our hero's journey, is that we sometimes find those like scary valleys where nothing works. And then you actually took it upon yourself, took the responsibility for your own life and said, I can change this. I can make this a good life. And is this something you're teaching your clients?
Yeah, I'm teaching my clients, but the more I'm teaching my clients to understand what is stopping them, because everybody has this potential. So I'm basing the assumption that we can all do this. But what is stopping us for having clarity? Because the first step is always clarity, is to be clear what we want in our life. But most people are stopped here and they can't get clarity. They want to keep the choice, or there is too much choice, or they are scared that if they go in one direction that they will not succeed. They're scared if they go in another direction they will not be able to relate. And there are so much fears and beliefs about themselves that is stopping them completely. And what I'm helping my clients to do is really to take this first step and understand what is blocking them here. And after the rest is really working on ourselves. It's a journey, as you said, and that's the right term. And it's a journey that we need to enjoy. And that's something that I don't really like to say to people, because you can't really enjoy a journey where everything changes on a daily basis or weekly basis, and you don't really find your ground anymore. So it's a journey that you have to learn to enjoy. You have to learn to enjoy and have to learn to find the little signs here and there, the little places that you have progressed, little places of joy, looking at the trees, looking at the cloud, finding a smile, and just going on and on and on, and never ever give up. Because once you give up, you stop and you go back to your old patterns and old habitual thinking. But if you continue on your journey, that's when the magic really starts to unfold.
So really stepping into your own path and not being afraid. And this is something that has worked for you and you're now helping your clients do, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, and it's working for everybody. We just need to be able to do this, and we need to understand that what is stopping us from our own way is ourselves. That's the only thing stopping us, and it's ourselves because we are carrying, and I'm going to take a picture here. We are going uphill, that's our journey, and when we go on the top of the hill, we know that we have a wonderful view. That we know. We can't be sure, we have the faith that this will be here. And so we go up and we carry our big bag full of everything that we have from our past, full of our beliefs, full of our regrets, resentment, guilt, whatever it is. Everybody has a big bag like this. And as we carry, it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And at some stage, we just say, okay, stop. I need to let go of some things. And that's where I come in usually. But also what I would like people to do is just look back and look down and see, wow, I have done all this journey already. And I can see that the view is getting better and better. And my bag is getting lighter and lighter. So now I can go and see the top of the hill. And that's beautiful when you're at this stage.
Yeah, then that's a great metaphor, and I think most people will actually align with that metaphor. Me, myself, being on a journey, WWGN is part of my journey, you're part of my journey, and how do we, at some point, stop and actually also acknowledge us for reaching that point of the hill? I think especially in the West, in the Western world, the whole idea of just going for the goal and not actually stopping and understanding that this is a journey, a path, a story, whatever you want to call it, and that you have to stop and actually thank yourself for doing what you've done up until now. And probably for yourself, anything you've done before you had the breakdown, you also acknowledge, because that brought you the knowledge to get to where you are today. I mean, probably you use your brain as a mathematician, as an engineer, in your coaching in a different way. I mean, I know I bring my film industry and animation into my daily work. So how does that affect your, how do you bring what you've learned on your longer journey to what you do today?
Yeah, you're completely right. And because it is what we have learned, what we have the skills, because I believe that life is presenting us with opportunities for us to grow in every direction. And sometimes we have these opportunities that are here, ready for us, and we grab them, and we don't really understand why. For example, I was kind of exposed to a lot of public speaking in my consulting before. I never understood why. I liked it, I loved it, but I didn't never understand why is it that I have to do this, and why is it I have to do this over and over and at a higher level. Guess what? Now it's serving me so well that I know how to do this and so on. And there are so many other skills that I've learned, like coaching a team. Like I had some team members that had some family problems, and I was coaching them, and I was helping them, I was mentoring them in their careers and so on. So in 10 years that I was working with some people, 25 of them who stayed with me, which is nearly 100% of my team, which is just amazing to show that I gathered some of the mentoring skills at this time. I didn't know that I would use them now to do what I'm doing today. So which kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's really great. That's especially for people who are changing their life, starting a new career, doing something new. Remember always that everything you've done up until that step in your life will serve you. We're building blocks. We're not throwing everything we've done away, which is really powerful, right?
It is powerful, and the message also we can give then is it's never too late, because even if you don't embark today, okay, it's better to embark as soon as possible, because then we have much more joy. But we can also delay a little bit, because we are going to learn some of the skills that we need anyway. So it will be like a big jigsaw, and we're just putting the pieces everywhere, and at the end we say, oh, we have a nice picture here. But because we are ever expanding human beings, the picture gets bigger, and then we have more pieces that we have to put in, and more pieces and more pieces. And the quality of our life is to be able to live with an unfinished jigsaw all the time.
Oh, that's a great metaphor again. So people who work with you, how do you help them? What is the first few steps besides just getting unblocked that you give them to get the dream life that they want?
The first thing is to clarify with them. That's very, very important. What is important for them? Because everybody has slightly different, even if everybody wants the nice relationship, the nice house, the nice money, and the nice work, and the nice family, it's still not the same for everybody. So there are really, really important nuances here that are aligned with their own values. So that's really important to understand what it is they want to do and what are their own values. Because if you go in a way that's not congruent with their own values, then you will not be able to build this. For example, if somebody is really valued around certainty or security, having a life that is very, very exciting but full of risk is not something that they will like. So I need really to understand this, and they need to work with me on understanding their own values so that we can then have a kind of a tabletop, a kind of foundation that we can use their values and their own progress in these values to put the big picture on top of this. And then we clarify the big picture. We clarify what it is they want and why they are currently not there. And that's when we start to go the big digging work. And for some people it's fast, for some people it takes a long time because there is resistance and there is also this fear of, a lot of fears, many of not relating to the families. That's the biggest I can find. Because the more shinier somebody is, the less they can relate to their own family. That's a belief. It's not true, but it's something that people really believe in their core. And then after I go on this journey and we go on because it is very important to continue digging. And it's like digging for gold or digging for oil. We have to go, and if we stop before we reach it, then we don't have anything. So we have to go on and really go on this journey until we arrive to a certain threshold. And then after, people can start to do this on their own. It's easier. Once you have done this once, you know how to do it again.
Yeah. And so you give coaching, you give lectures. What else are you doing a tour, or are you writing a book? What's next in your own journey?
But first, I'm sharing a lot with my radio show on Law of Attraction Radio Network, which I love. I'm doing some a side kind of a series of videos with Tam Bayer, with Freeman Michaels, with other people, where we go and we unfold one or the other aspects. So let's say I just finished now one with Tam, where we talk about surrounding yourself with people that are going to support you, which is very, very important. And then I'm writing my own book currently that should be published at the end of the year, and I'm doing talks and mainly coaching for the moment. It's group coaching because there's something in the one-on-one coaching that is great. I love it, but people don't ask the right questions, and they're scared of asking the right questions. So sometimes, because I can feel the energy, I know where the problem is, and I step in. So sometimes it's welcome, sometimes not. Now, if I have a group, even on the phone, I know that one person may ask a question that would help somebody else, and I cannot incite this to happen, and then the answer will help other people. So that's really what I'm doing currently.
And in groups also you have the camaraderie of your teammates, that people are actually supporting each other, more of a tribe. The one-on-one, sometimes I feel that, and when you do some one-on-one coaching, you don't hear exactly all the questions. You don't feel that you have your own cohorts to work with. And I think a group is a really great healing process. And I've done a lot of group healing and a lot of group work. So I definitely get why you like working with groups.
Completely, yeah. Yeah, and there is also this thing that people are learning from other people, and a question that sounds stupid sometimes, because even now, sometimes I have questions that I don't want to ask, because even now I feel that's maybe a stupid question. But if you are on a coaching session, sometimes some people are not comfortable to ask a question that they think is stupid. Whereas in a group, well, somebody may ask a question because they just feel that's the right question to ask, and then the other guy will say, "Oh, that's a question I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to. I didn't know how to." And then the answer will come, and that's how we can exchange our questions, our answers, our energy between the group, and it flows far better. At least for me, in my style, it flows far better. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And it helps for a bigger transformation in more people's lives. So you're actually creating a little tribe that will then go and change their lives, and then they'll change their own tribes and their own communities. So the impact is very large.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you mentioned this, because in my own life, in my own journey, my starting point was to transform myself, not only for me, but for my daughter, who lives with me 24/7. And by being the change, by becoming more, by being the example, she transformed completely her life. And from being, where I told you before, broke and unhappy and angry and hurt, to now being very, very happy, very open, making new friends, not really caring what other people are saying to her, because, as she said, it's their problem, not mine. It's their perception. And at 11, hearing this, it's great. And then seeing her going on stage in front of 200, 300 people, I don't remember, and just starting to have a play on her own. That's amazing. That's really, because she is so certain in herself that she can do anything, that she's doing it now.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's really what we need to hear, more children knowing that they can do whatever they believe they want to do. And you are being the change in your own life, and that's a role model of taking responsibility for your own life, your own thoughts, your own family, not being the victim. And while you did that in your own life, your own personal transformation, then you actually transform your family, your community, and now you're transforming the world. And that is exactly what the good news is all about, is just take little actions to transform your own life and see what happens. And I really want to commend you for doing that.
And what happens is, it's amazing, because we don't know how many people we're impacting. But what I know is, from my own life, is that my radio show started 5 months ago with, of course, 0 listeners at the start. And in 5 months, moved to nearly 1 million listeners. And how many of these people I'm changing life, I don't know. I know that some people are listening to the show and are burning this on CDs, and they go in groups and they listen to this thing for 1 hour, and then they talk for 1, 2, 3 hours after. And what impact it has, I don't know, but I know it's very, very positive. It's really bringing people inspiration. I can feel this in my heart when I'm telling you this. So it is really changing their lives at some level.
That's so great. And that is your gift to the world, and it's something that you're just giving out of wanting to give. And I think people really react to that. People react to that, for lack of a better word, the energy of it. And and that is, in my work in WWGN News, I've met so many people who are doing that, and it's so great to see how more people are stepping up to change the world by changing their own lives.
Yeah, and every change starts with us. And if we know this, and if we know that we have an impact, then we should invite everybody to do this, and stop listening to the other news, but listen only to good news, because the good news are what makes this world go around, I went to a talk with Wayne Dyer a few weeks ago in London, and he was kind of shocked, because he was talking about going back at the hotel in the evening and listening to the news, and there was something happening, something small, a few kids throwing stones. And he was in Lourdes, where this place, which is very spiritual, and had 10 or 15,000 people, well organized and praying and being happy and being in joy. And he said, in the news there was nothing about these 15,000 people doing something like this, but we are focusing on this couple of kids somewhere doing something else. And that's what everybody's focusing on, and it's a shame, I think.
It is a shame, and WWGN News wants to change that, and there's so many amazing different companies and different groups who are doing the same thing, just bringing the positive news, because the sheer enjoyment that you get from listening to a good piece of news, something happy, how you feel in your stomach, how you feel in your body, versus the bad news, is so uplifting, so great. And I myself try to lessen my bad news intake and more my good news intake per day, and it actually helps my personal level of happiness, and I'm sure it does for you as well. And then to provide a service of bringing some good news to the world makes me even feel better about the world and about myself, and sharing that joy.
Yeah, and what you're doing is great, and I'm feeling very privileged to be here, to be honest, because I want to support you for a while, and I think that what you're doing is you're bringing the light, because people are candles, if you can see this, but you're bringing them the authorization to put a light on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to have you here as well. And that's that's the light that we're bringing to the world. And it's just, one story at a time, one connection at a time, one human connection at a time. And that's why I love this format of just having a conversation. And, I don't know if people, I sometimes say people don't really know that most of the times I don't start writing down questions. I just let the conversation follow itself with some just key questions. Who are you? What are you bringing to this world? What do you want to bring next? Is definitely my motto. Is your personal, Bertrand, your personal narrative is so interesting, I think, to the world to hear, because people need to look up or look at people who have decided to take on, and it's a decision, to take on responsibility for their whole life, turn it around, and then bring back that gift to the world. And it's a decision you have to take every morning when you wake up in the morning. Every moment we have choices. Am I going to be happy? Am I going to be sad? And it's a choice. You made a choice to reach out to me, and that's also transformation for me and for the whole world. So I want to thank you for that as well.
You're welcome. Thank you. But you're right. It is a choice every day, and it's like brushing your teeth. And that's my pictures. You have to do this every single day. And it's the same thing with our emotions. It's every single day. And when we feel that we're going down, we have to be able to catch ourselves and say, oh, do I really want to be here? Or who am I serving being here? Nobody. So how can I go out of this and serve people, serve myself? It's being selfless. Selfless while taking care of us. Because there's also this other side that we need to take care of us. Because if we don't have anything to give, then we can't give anything. We are going to seek what we need from other people. We should be at the place where we have everything we need on our emotion side, so we can give and give and give while we are filling ourselves up with our own energy. And that we can do it. We have the power to do this, and it is really what we call the good vibes, the good emotions, the happiness. And there are so many tools, and people can have a selection. Some of them would be music. For me, it's watching a cloud, and I'm lucky because in Ireland there are a lot of them. But it's watching a cloud, and I can watch a cloud for 5 minutes, and I see all these textures and all these grays and the white and the blue and everything, and I just feel in a different world, and that's what makes me happy, and then I'm completely through after.
For me, it's playing with my dog for 5 minutes, Yeah. Just playing with a playful animal and reminding you that nature's all around you. And it's not a hippy-dippy thing. It's actually connecting you back to that source energy, that very, very, that energy where you felt like when you were a child. And that actually brings you back to a grounded place. And from there, you're very coherent, meaning your brain and your emotions are leveled. So you can actually get back to whatever you were doing with a level-headed and an emotional, stable way.
Completely, yeah, and you're right. And what you're saying here is true, because I remember I was watching something from I think Tony Robbins, and when we have our heart energy things, I don't know what it is, and our brain waves aligned, we have so much more power. And that's what we're doing when you're playing with your dog, or when I'm playing with the clouds. It is just aligning the two and allowing the two to be aligned, and then life just unfolds. And I just want to share this with people, is that I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm going to do. This weekend I know a little bit. But I just let this completely unfold. And then people are coming from, I don't know from where. They're coming, they're helping me, I'm helping them. I'm of service with other people. And that's how my life is unfolding. And every day, every week is getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And sometimes there is so much magic happening in one room And I don't know where it's coming from, but it's just happening. And all the people around me, whether they're strangers, whether they're people that I'm meeting here with in this room, are just feeling it. And you can do it. Everybody can do it. Michael Lozier is coming to Ireland, and for me, it's something really, really great because it's my first big event with an international speaker, and Michael Lozier is Michael Lozier, so the law of attraction. And it's really a privilege for me to do this because Ireland is my country of choice. It's not where I was born, because I'm French, but also the country where my daughter was born. So I have this connection with, on the heart with Ireland, and for me, bringing Michael Lozier here is something huge and big. So more information on my blog, which is designyourdreamlife.org, and you will see Michael is featured on the homepage. So there's no mistaking. You can go and get more information about the event.
Great. And are you going to take some videos so us on the other side of the world can actually see it?
I don't know, yes, but I will take pictures. I will take pictures and these kind of things, of course, with Michael. And yeah, I'm so happy because he's excited. He's excited. I was chatting with him, and be able to see Ireland, be able to connect with people, because people are really great here. For him, it's an adventure, and I'm so happy that I can offer this to him, but also to the Irish people here.
Yeah, that's great. I've always wanted to come to Ireland, so now I know who I'm meeting.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can come here, and hey, I don't know, but why not do a tour of Ireland, and just take some little snippet here and there of good news. And there was a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of good news around the world, and maybe one day I need to get on tour.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Bertrand, so much for your time today.
It was great talking to you. It's great sharing this because I think that when I was listening to Secret the first time, and when they say that the world has taken a bitter pill, I believe it was the case. And I believe that now there is a global consciousness of a lot of people like you, like me, like Freeman, like Lilu, like Michael, and so many others that I don't want to list them all, but we are all trying to raise this. We are all trying to make this a better world. And if more and more people are just feeding their souls and mind with this kind of information and believe they can do something, imagine what we can create on this planet. That's the message I want to finish with.
Definitely, and I completely wholeheartedly believe that, and this is why I'm doing this work. So thank you again.
Thank you, Maya.
And this was my honor, and this was Maya from the Worldwide Good News.